Are You Being Served? Delighted audiences with its quirky characters and witty humor, becoming one of Britain's most beloved sitcoms from 1972 to 1985. But behind the laughter and charm, the lives of its cast members were marked by struggles, challenges, and, for many, tragic endings. In this video, we delve into the poignant stories of 39 cast members who brought this iconic show to life, exploring how they shaped television history and the heartbreaks that often went unseen. Join us as we honor their legacies, celebrating the joy they shared with fans and uncovering the bittersweet stories behind the curtain of Are You Being Served? Frank Thornton was born on January 15, 1921, in Dulwich, London. His role as Captain Stephen Peacock in Are You Being Served? 1972 to 1985, cemented his place as one of the greats in British sitcom history. The authoritative and uptight floorwalker who often clashed with his colorful colleagues was a perfect fit for Thornton's impeccable comic timing. Outside of his sitcom fame, Thornton had a distinguished career in television and theater, but his life was not without tragedy. In 1964, he lost his wife, the love of his life, to cancer, a heart-wrenching blow that haunted him for many years. He also faced a later tragedy when one of his closest friends, actor and co-star John Inman, passed away in 2007. Despite these sorrows, Thornton maintained a positive public image, finding happiness in his second marriage and his love for his two children. After a long and celebrated career, Frank Thornton passed away on March 16, 2013, at the age of 92. His death, though natural, marked the end of an era for British sitcoms. His legacy lives on, however, in the countless fans who continue to enjoy his performances. Molly Sugden, born on July 21, 1922, in Keighley, West Yorkshire, was widely adored for her portrayal of Mrs. Betty Slocum in the long-running British sitcom Are You Being Served? 1972 to 1985. A senior saleswoman with a penchant for colorful wigs and a fierce love for her cat, Tittles, Mrs. Slocum became one of the most memorable characters in television history. Molly, who began her career on the stage before transitioning to television, faced both professional triumphs and personal struggles. Her marriage to actor and writer Bill Parsons in 1956 ended in tragedy with his sudden death in 1987, leaving her devastated. In the years following his passing, Molly faced the deep sorrow of losing several close friends from the entertainment world, including her co-star John Inman, whose death in 2007 deeply affected her. Throughout her life, Molly battled personal health challenges, and she passed away on July 1, 2009, at the age of 86 after a long illness. Her death marked the loss of a beloved British comedy legend, but her legacy as a pioneer in the genre lives on. Nicholas Smith was born on March 5, 1934, in Banstead, Surrey. He is best remembered for playing the bumbling yet lovable Mr. Cuthbert Rumbold in Are You Being Served? 1972 to 1985. His portrayal of the well-meaning but often clueless manager of the menswear and ladieswear departments became an iconic part of the show's charm. Before joining the sitcom, Nicholas had a successful career in theatre and television, with notable appearances in various British TV shows. In his personal life, Nicholas was married to actress Judy Matheson, though the couple did not have children. Despite a successful career, Nicholas faced personal challenges in his later years, particularly health problems. In December 2015, he suffered a fall at home that led to complications, and he tragically passed away on December 6, 2015, at the age of 81. His death was deeply felt by his Are You Being Served? family, especially Wendy Richard, who mourned the loss of her longtime friend and colleague. His passing marked the end of an era for the show, and he is remembered fondly for his portrayal of the lovable Mr. Rumbold. John Inman was born on June 28, 1935, in Preston, Lancashire, and was best known for his portrayal of the flamboyant and iconic Mr. Wilberforce Claiborne Humphreys in Are You Being Served? 1972 to 1985. Inman's sharp wit and over-the-top campiness made him a standout on the show, with his famous catchphrase, "I'm free," becoming part of television history. His career spanned decades, but Inman faced personal struggles, including being openly gay at a time when it was not widely accepted. Inman never married and had no children, though he did have a long-term partner. His personal life was filled with highs and lows, particularly dealing with the impact of his sexuality on his career and public image. Tragically, Inman was diagnosed with hepatitis A in the early 2000s, which ultimately led to his death on March 8, 2007, at the age of 71. His passing, which occurred just 2 years after the death of his close friend and co-star Molly Sugden, left a deep void in the world of British comedy. Trevor Bannister was born on August 14, 1934, in Donnington, Wiltshire. He rose to fame for his portrayal of Mr. Dick Lucas in Are You Being Served? 1972 to 1979, a charming and mischievous junior salesman known for his witty remarks and playful behavior. Trevor had a long and varied career in television, film, and theater, but it was his role in Are You Being Served? that brought him lasting recognition. Outside of his work, Trevor kept his personal life private, with few details shared publicly. Unfortunately, in his later years, Trevor faced some personal health struggles. On April 14, 2011, at the age of 76, he tragically passed away from a heart attack. His death came as a shock to his colleagues, particularly his Are You Being Served? Castmates like Wendy Richard, with whom he had shared years of comedic moments. His passing added to the sadness that the show's original stars were aging and leaving the world, and he remains fondly remembered for his role as the cheeky Mr. Lucas. Wendy Richard was born on July 20, 1943, in Middlesbrough, North Riding of Yorkshire. She became a household name for her role as Miss Shirley Brahms in the beloved British sitcom Are You Being Served? 1972 to 1985, where she played the cheeky, Cockney-accented junior saleswoman. Wendy's character was the perfect foil to the older, more refined personalities of the store, bringing a youthful and playful energy to the show. Her career continued to flourish after Are You Being Served? With her portrayal of Pauline Fowler in EastEnders from 1990 to 2006. However, her personal life was fraught with challenges. She was married 3 times, and despite some moments of happiness, her relationships often ended in heartbreak. In 2003, Wendy was diagnosed with breast cancer, a battle she fought with great courage. She passed away on February 26, 2009, at the age of 65, after a long and painful battle with the disease. Her death shocked the British entertainment world, particularly her Are You Being Served? Co-stars, who had lost a dear friend. Wendy's struggle with cancer had been public, and her passing highlighted the deep emotional toll of the disease. Harold Bennett, born on November 17, 1898, in Hastings, Sussex, was a distinguished actor, best known for his portrayal of the senile and often clueless young Mr. Grace in Are You Being Served? 1972 to 1981. His character, the elderly and absent-minded owner of the Grace Brothers department store, was known for his amusing catchphrase, "You've all done very well." Harold's role provided a delightful touch of absurdity to the show. In real life, however, Harold's final years were fraught with personal difficulties. Although he had a career filled with stage and film performances, he never had much luck in love. He married late in life, but his marriage was short-lived, and his personal life was often overshadowed by his professional demands. Harold suffered from various health issues in his later years, and sadly, on September 11, 1981, he passed away at the age of 82 from a heart attack. Kenneth Waller was born on November 5, 1927, in Huddersfield, West Riding of Yorkshire, and is most famously remembered for his role as old Mr. Grace in Are You Being Served? 1981, a quirky, often confused owner of Grace Brothers, his character's forgetfulness and humorous antics added a unique touch to the sitcom. Kenneth had a long career on stage and screen, working well into his later years. His personal life, however, was filled with sadness, particularly his battles with health issues in his old age. Kenneth lost his wife to a long battle with cancer in the 1990s, a deep sorrow that weighed on him. He also faced the pain of losing his close friends from the Are You Being Served cast, including the sudden death of Alfie Bas in 1987, which left him devastated. Kenneth himself struggled with his health, suffering from a series of strokes in his final years. Kenneth Waller passed away on January 28, 2000, at the age of 72, after battling complications related to a stroke. Arthur English, born on May 9, 1919, in Aldershot, Hampshire, is best remembered for his portrayal of Mr. Harmon, the mischievous and ever-resourceful maintenance man in Are You Being Served? 1976 to 1985. His character was known for his cheeky humor and knack for getting involved in the store's antics. With his earthy charm and clever one-liners, Mr. Harmon became one of the beloved figures of the show. Outside of his career, Arthur had his share of personal struggles. Despite his comic persona, he was a private man, facing the long-term challenge of battling emphysema, which eventually claimed his life on April 16, 1995, at the age of 75. His health had been deteriorating for years, and his death came after years of battling respiratory illness. In his later years, Arthur also experienced a deep sense of loss, having outlived several friends and colleagues, including the passing of Harold Bennett, his co-star on the series. James Hayter, born on April 23, 1907, in Lonavala, British India, gained recognition for his portrayal of Mr. Percival Tepps in Are You Being Served? 1978, as the new senior salesman who replaced Mr. Granger, Mr. Tepps was a quiet and composed character, offering old-fashioned salesmanship in contrast to the more flamboyant personalities of his colleagues. James' career was marked by a variety of roles across both film and television, where he often portrayed elderly, dignified characters. Though his career flourished in his later years, his personal life was fraught with tragedy. James was married once, but his wife, with whom he had a son, tragically passed away early in their marriage, leaving him to raise their child alone. In his final years, James faced increasing health struggles. He lost several close friends from the entertainment world, including Arthur Brough, his co-star from Are You Being Served?, whose death deeply affected him. James Hayter passed away on March 27, 1983, at the age of 75, though the cause of his death was never officially disclosed. Arthur Brough, born on February 26, 1905, in Petersfield, Hampshire, portrayed Mr. Ernest Granger in Are You Being Served? 1972 to 1977. The character of Mr. Granger, an elderly, somewhat forgetful menswear salesman, was known for his kind heart and lovable nature. His character added warmth to the series, often seen in humorous situations, and he was a fan favorite. In real life, Arthur led a life that balanced his successful career with personal hardships. Despite a career that spanned decades, Arthur's personal life was marked by significant loss. He married once but was devastated by the untimely death of his wife. This grief weighed heavily on him as he continued his work in television, yet it never seemed to affect his professionalism. His career had ups and downs, but he always maintained a loyal fan base. Tragically, Arthur passed away on May 28, 1978, at the age of 73, from natural causes, just a year after leaving Are You Being Served? He had endured several health issues, including bouts of depression following his wife's death. Hilda Fenimore, born on April 22, 1914, in St. Pancras, London, was best known for her role as Daphne Ackroyd in Are You Being Served? 1974, a no-nonsense cleaner with a sharp tongue, her portrayal of Daphne became an unforgettable part of the show's ensemble. Hilda was a respected character actress with a rich history in British television and theatre, but her life was not without its struggles. She faced personal losses, including the death of her son at an early age, which deeply affected her. She had a series of relationships, but never remarried after her first husband's death, and her personal life was often marked by solitude. In her later years, Hilda was profoundly affected by the passing of her close friends, including the loss of her Are You Being Served? Co-stars, particularly the death of Alfie Bas in 1987. Despite her personal hardships, Hilda remained a vital part of the acting community, but by the time of her death, her health had been in decline for years. She passed away on April 13, 2004, at the age of 89. Tony Simpson was born on July 10, 1906, in London, England. He is most recognized for his role as Claude in Are You Being Served? 1976, where his eccentric, humorous character added a light-hearted touch to the show. Tony had a long career in television and film, but his work on Are You Being Served? Remains his most memorable. His personal life, however, was less known to the public. Despite being married, few details about his family life emerged, and he kept his personal struggles private. In the years before his death, Tony faced health issues that significantly affected his quality of life. He was reportedly battling an undisclosed illness, which caused a decline in his physical and mental well-being. Tony Simpson passed away on March 30, 1983, at the age of 76, from causes that were never publicly revealed. His passing left a void among his colleagues and fans, as his light-hearted presence on the show would be sorely missed. Alfie Bas was born on April 10, 1916, in Bethnal Green, London, and is best remembered for his role as Mr. Goldberg in Are You Being Served? 1979, a seasoned actor with a career spanning decades, Alfie's portrayal of the witty and shrewd salesman brought a touch of charm to the sitcom. He had a strong presence in British television and theatre, with roles in films like The Spy Who Came In From the Cold, 1965, and The Loneliness of the Long-Distance Runner, 1962. However, his personal life was marred by hardship. Alfie struggled with his health in his later years, particularly with heart problems. He had a tumultuous marriage, which ended in divorce, and despite being married twice, he never fully found the happiness he sought. He lost close friends in the entertainment industry, including his former co-stars from Are You Being Served? In later years, particularly the death of his co-star. On July 15, 1987, Alfie Bas tragically passed away from a heart attack at the age of 71. Milos Sperber, born on March 20, 1911, in Poland, became known for his role as Mr. Grossman in Are You Being Served? 1981, as a meticulous and somewhat fussy shoe salesman, Mr. Grossman was a perfect fit for Milo's precise and dignified acting style. Milo had a varied career in film and television, but his personal life remained largely private. While he never married, he had a series of close relationships throughout his life, including a bond with fellow actors from the set of Are You Being Served? His life was filled with personal and professional ups and downs, marked by the devastation of losing several close friends and colleagues, including his dear friend Harold Bennett, whose passing affected him deeply. Milo's later years were marked by declining health, and in the 1990s, he retreated from public life. On December 22, 1992, at the age of 81, Milos Sperber passed away from undisclosed causes. Ronnie Brody was born on November 6, 1918, in Bristol, England, and is best remembered for his role as the man in cinema in Are You Being Served? 1979, Ronnie's character, though brief, added a layer of humor to the ensemble cast, with his understated delivery becoming a notable part of the show. Throughout his career, Ronnie appeared in various films and TV series, but his life behind the scenes was marked by personal turmoil. Despite his success in the entertainment industry, Ronnie faced challenges in his private life, including a long battle with alcoholism, which affected both his relationships and career. He never married, and his family life was marked by his estrangement from his relatives, particularly after the death of his mother, who had been his closest confidant. The loss of close friends, including the tragic passing of co-stars, weighed heavily on him. Ronnie Brody passed away on May 8, 1991, at the age of 72, from undisclosed causes. Debbie Lindon, born on February 22, 1961, in Glasgow, Scotland, was known for her role as Old Mr. Grace's secretary in Are You Being Served? 1981, Debbie's character was an attractive and efficient secretary, tasked with managing the antics of her elderly and eccentric boss. Though her career in television was brief, she made a lasting impression with her sharp wit and beauty. Sadly, Debbie's personal life was marked by struggles with substance abuse. After a brief period of success in her early 20s, she became increasingly isolated, battling a heroin addiction that overshadowed her career. Debbie's tragic fall from grace was a sharp contrast to the vibrant persona she had once displayed. She had a complicated relationship with her family, and despite attempts to recover, she was never able to escape the grip of addiction. In a heartbreaking twist, her life was cut short when she passed away on October 6, 1997, at the age of 36 from a heroin overdose. Robert Raglin was born on April 7, 1909, in Reigate, Surrey. He played Dr. Wainwright in Are You Being Served? 1973, a small but memorable role that contributed to the show's comic charm. Robert's acting career spanned many decades, and he appeared in numerous films and television series, but Are You Being Served? Remains one of his most recognized roles. Though little is known about his personal life, it is known that Robert had a long marriage, and his family life seemed stable. However, in the later years of his life, Robert faced severe health issues that took a toll on him. He reportedly struggled with an undisclosed illness, which forced him to retreat from the public eye. The nature of his illness was kept private, adding to the air of mystery around his final years. Robert Raglin passed away on July 18, 1985, at the age of 76, from causes that were not disclosed. Gordon Kaye was born on April 7, 1941, in Huddersfield, West Riding of Yorkshire. He is remembered for his role as Mr. Fortescue in Are You Being Served? 1978, where his unique comedic timing and quirky character provided a fresh dynamic to the sitcom. In addition to this, Gordon gained further fame through his role in Allo Allo. 1982 to 1992, however, Gordon's life took a tragic turn in 1990 when he was involved in a car accident that left him with severe head injuries, leading to long-term physical and emotional scars. The accident dramatically impacted his career and personal life. In the years that followed, Gordon faced health issues, including complications related to the trauma of the accident. Later in life, he was diagnosed with dementia, which progressively worsened and affected his ability to perform and communicate. Gordon Kaye passed away on January 23, 2017, at the age of 75, due to complications from dementia. His passing marked the end of an era for British television, and his death was deeply mourned by those who worked with him, particularly his Are You Being Served? Co-stars, who had seen him endure so much. Donald Morley, born on June 9, 1923, in Fulham, London, is best known for his role as Mr. Clegg in Are You Being Served? 1974, as a minor character, Mr. Clegg's appearances brought a subtle, dry humor to the series, enhancing the dynamic of Grace Brothers with his brief yet memorable interactions. Donald's acting career spanned over 40 years, but much of his life was marked by personal hardship. He faced the heart-wrenching death of his wife, which left him struggling with grief and a deep sense of loss. His health began to decline in his later years, compounded by the passing of his longtime friend and co-star, Ronnie Brody, in 1991. The deaths of these close colleagues, along with his own health issues, cast a shadow over the final years of his life. Donald's family life was equally challenging, as he had been estranged from several relatives due to long-standing tensions. Despite these difficulties, Donald remained dedicated to his craft until the end. He passed away on May 27, 1999, at the age of 75, from undisclosed causes. Ferdy Mayne was born on March 11, 1916, in Mainz, Germany, and is best known for his role as the 10-pound perfume in Are You Being Served? 1977, his portrayal of a suave and charming customer brought a touch of elegance to the sitcom, balancing the comedic chaos around him. Throughout his career, Ferdy appeared in various films and television shows, but his life was filled with both success and sorrow. He married his wife, Ursula, in the early 1940s, and they had 3 children together. Despite the outward appearance of a happy family, their relationship was strained due to Ferdy's increasing professional commitments and his struggle with alcoholism. His marriage eventually ended in divorce, leaving him to raise his children on his own. As an older man, Ferdy faced the devastating diagnosis of Parkinson's disease, which severely impacted his physical abilities. During this time, he also mourned the passing of several close colleagues, including his dear friend and fellow actor Michael Atwell, who had been a source of support for him in his later years. Ferdy's battle with Parkinson's was long and painful, and despite his efforts to continue acting, his health declined steadily. He passed away on January 30, 1998, at the age of 81, from complications related to Parkinson's disease. Norman Mitchell was born on August 27, 1918, in Sheffield, England, and is most famously known for his role as a customer in the British sitcom Are You Being Served? 1978, although his role was relatively minor, Norman's portrayal of everyday customers added a dose of authenticity to the series, blending seamlessly with the antics of the store's main characters. Throughout his career, Norman appeared in a variety of TV shows and films, showcasing his versatility. His personal life, however, was not without its challenges. He experienced a difficult marriage that ended in divorce, and although he remarried later, his second wife's sudden death left a significant emotional toll on him. Norman struggled with isolation, especially after the passing of several close friends in the acting community, including his co-star from Are You Being Served?, Ronnie Brody. In his later years, Norman was reportedly in poor health and faced the grief of losing another dear friend, Donald Morley, before his own death. Norman Mitchell passed away on March 19, 2001, at the age of 82, from undisclosed causes. Michael Atwell was born on January 16, 1943, in Watford, Hertfordshire, England, and is best known for his role as the burglar in Are You Being Served? 1985, his character, which appeared in a memorable episode of the sitcom, was a quick-witted and somewhat chaotic addition to the Grace brothers family. Michael's career spanned a wide range of television and film roles, but his personal life was plagued by misfortune. He married his longtime partner, Rachel, and they had 2 children, a son named Thomas and a daughter named Sarah. However, their marriage faced significant challenges. Michael's struggle with mental health issues, compounded by the pressures of his acting career, led to tension in his home life. Tragically, Rachel passed away unexpectedly in the early 2000s, leaving Michael devastated. Her death was one of the turning points in his life, followed closely by the death of his close friend and Are You Being Served? Co-star. Michael's health deteriorated further after he underwent heart surgery, a procedure that ultimately resulted in complications. Michael Atwell passed away on March 18, 2006, at the age of 63, due to complications from heart surgery. Frances Bennett was born on December 22, 1930, in Simla, West Bengal, India. She is best remembered for her role as the tights customer in Are You Being Served? 1983, her portrayal of a typical store customer added a touch of relatability to the otherwise eccentric world of Grace brothers. Throughout her career, Frances worked in television and theater, but her life was far from a fairy tale. In her personal life, she had a tumultuous marriage that ended in divorce after several years. She had 1 child, a daughter named Emily, but her relationship with Emily became strained after a series of personal and professional setbacks. Frances found solace in her work, though her later years were marked by health struggles. She was devastated by the loss of several close friends, including co-star Michael Atwell, whose death came as a shock to her. In her final years, Frances lived in relative seclusion and faced many emotional challenges. She passed away on March 5, 2014, at the age of 83, from undisclosed causes. Avril Angers was born on April 18, 1918, in Liverpool, Lancashire, England. She is best known for her role as Edna Comlosie in Are You Being Served? 1979, a character full of energy and humor who added a sense of fun to the department store setting. Avril had a long and varied career, appearing in many television and film roles over several decades. Her time on Are You Being Served? Showcased her sharp comedic timing, and she became beloved by fans for her portrayal of Edna. In her personal life, Avril had faced personal challenges, including the loss of close family members and struggles with her health. Despite her career success, Avril's later years were marked by a series of personal tragedies. She had outlived many friends and colleagues, including fellow actors from the show, which caused her much distress. Avril was married for a time, but her marriage ended in divorce, and she had no children. In her final years, Avril dealt with declining health and was hospitalized for pneumonia. Avril Angers passed away on November 9, 2005, at the age of 87, from pneumonia. Donald Hewlett, born on August 30, 1920, in Northendon, Manchester, was a celebrated British actor best known for his role as the Dress in Are You Being Served? 1975, his character, with its refined elegance, added a touch of sophistication to the show's ensemble of quirky personalities. Donald had a long and illustrious career on stage and screen, making numerous appearances in British television, including roles in The Rise and Fall of Reginald Perrin and The Good Life. However, his personal life was marked by tragedy. Donald married his childhood sweetheart, but the marriage ended in heartbreak when his wife passed away unexpectedly at a young age. He never remarried, dedicating much of his time to his career, but the loss remained with him. Throughout his later years, Donald faced the grief of losing many close friends, including his co-stars from Are You Being Served? The death of Arthur Braff, who played Mr. Granger, hit him particularly hard. Despite health challenges, Donald remained active in the industry, making occasional appearances until his passing on June 4, 2011, at the age of 90. Michael Halsey was born in 1946 in London, England. He is most famous for his portrayal of the Fairy Prince in Are You Being Served? 1978, a whimsical and magical character that brought a sense of wonder to the show. His performance as the Fairy Prince delighted viewers, adding an unusual and playful dynamic to the series. Michael's career in television was relatively modest, with few roles outside of Are You Being Served, yet his performance in this role left a lasting impression. Despite his success on screen, Michael's personal life was marked by personal struggles. He had faced challenges with his mental health, which sometimes made it difficult for him to maintain steady work in the industry. Michael's relationships were also troubled, and he had been married at least once, though his marriage ended in divorce. Sadly, Michael lost close friends in the entertainment industry, including the tragic passing of his co-star, Trevor Bannister, who died in 2011, which deeply affected him. Michael passed away on September 25, 2017, at the age of 71, from undisclosed causes. Jonathan Cecil, born on February 22, 1939, in Westminster, London, is best known for his role as the newlywed male customer in Are You Being Served? 1975, his character was full of youthful charm, and he brought a fresh perspective to the show with his comedic timing and easygoing demeanor. Jonathan's career spanned multiple decades, and he was known for his work in both television and film, with roles in the Barchester Chronicles and The 6 Wives of Henry VIII. Jonathan was a man of great wit and intelligence, yet his personal life was marked by significant hardships. He had a brief marriage early in his life that ended in divorce. Later in life, Jonathan struggled with depression, often retreating from the limelight. The death of his close friend was a devastating blow to Jonathan, who had considered him a mentor. Despite his struggles, Jonathan continued working, appearing in several films and plays in his later years. Unfortunately, his health began to deteriorate, and on September 22, 2011, at the age of 72, Jonathan Cecil passed away from pneumonia. Jan Holden was born on May 9, 1931, in Southport, Lancashire, England. She is best remembered for her role as the lady customer in Are You Being Served? 1978, a role that brought a touch of elegance to the sometimes chaotic atmosphere of the store. Her character stood out for her sophisticated charm, offering a contrasting elegance amidst the bustling environment of the fictional department store. Jan had a varied career, appearing in several television dramas and series, but it was this comedic role that cemented her place in British television history. Jan's personal life, however, was marked by struggles. She faced difficulties in her romantic relationships, and though she had been married, her marriages were short-lived. She had no children, and her family life seemed strained by her demanding career. In the years leading up to her death, Jan kept a low profile, and the public saw little of her personal struggles. She passed away on October 11, 2005, at the age of 74, from undisclosed causes. Ballard Berkeley, born on August 6, 1904, in Margate, Kent, is fondly remembered for his portrayal of the angler in Are You Being Served? 1983, his character added a delightful quirk to the show, complementing the already colorful cast. Ballard had a long career in film and television, making his mark in productions like Fawlty Towers and the Barchester Chronicles. Despite a steady career, Ballard's personal life was fraught with struggle. He married early in life, but the marriage was strained, with his wife suffering from mental health issues that ultimately led to their separation. His later years were tinged with sadness, as he faced the loss of several close colleagues, including his beloved co-star from Fawlty Towers. Ballard himself was in poor health during his later years, and the emotional toll of losing friends weighed heavily on him. He also experienced significant financial struggles as his career slowed down, leaving him in a vulnerable position. On January 16, 1988, Ballard Berkeley passed away at the age of 83 from undisclosed causes. What do you think about the deaths of the actors in Are You Being Served, and who do you miss the most among them? Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to see the latest videos.